Hey guys, so today we're talking about the Prime X strung. This currently is one of my favorite shoes to run in. I'm a slightly bigger guy, so I guess I'm 100 kilos, about 5'11", so I do have an extra bit of weight on me. But this shoe seems to pretty much handle everything that you throw at it. So to start with the upper, I love the colorway. The colorway is one of my favorites that they've released. I don't know about anyone else about what you think, but I like something that is a little bit flashy. I love the mixture of the colors. I love the strung, and I like the Adidas stripes down through the outside there. The upper is really good. It's a massive improvement over the first Prime X. A lot more secure and a lot more lockdown. The original Prime X, the upper was a little bit stretchier, and that stretchy kind of made it a touch more unstable. But with this one, because there's zero stretch in that strung, it completely locks down your foot and holds it in place. The tongue through the middle is just a fabric-based material, and that does have a little bit of stretch just in it, but it's not anything to notice that's going to ruin the support or secureness of that shoe or of the foot. One issue that I do have with most Adidas shoes at the moment is the laces, and the lacing system is perfect. I like something that has a few more eyelets on it that goes across, comparison to the Alpha Fly, where you can see that there's a lot less lacing and a lot less eyelets, and I don't like that as much as having something with a few more, just to customize that lockdown as best as possible. But the shoelaces come undone, and they need to move towards something more like the Alpha Fly shoelaces. So where they've got kind of jagged edges cut in that grips the other shoelace and that stops it from coming undone. So you're definitely going to want to double knot these or do something that's nice and secure with it. The sole itself, so I'm a big fan of the Light Strike Pro, and it feels a little bit firmer than Nike Zoom X, and I find that it's quite similar to the Puma Nitro Elite foam. The heel through the back, as you can see, is very, very beveled off through the lateral side, so the outside. So where you come down and you land through the outside of your foot, there's like reduce a lot of the pronatory forces. So although this is a neutral shoe, it's almost a mild stability shoe. And I think a few of the Adidas ones are doing that as well at the moment. And it does make them more stable through the outside. It almost makes it feel a little bit firmer as well, because you haven't got as much motion force going through that inside amount of foam. It suits me really, really well. I like having that slightly higher heel pitch and slightly firmer foam. With the Alpha Flies, again, like although that the stack height at the back might look high, because it's so soft in comparison to the forefoot, it almost rocks back a little bit. That doesn't happen in this. Having a slightly higher heel pitch as well really helps this out. Try and take a bit of extra strain just off the Achilles. You've got the carbon rods through it, which work really well. There's zero flexibility in any of that shoe. You've then got a plastic plate that runs through the bottom of the shoe, so it's double plated in this. The toe off is not as extreme as the Adidas Pro, but it still has a good shape to it. It doesn't feel like you're draining energy from having the extra thickness of the foam through there. A lot of the shoes, sometimes if they're too soft, it can kind of create like an unstable, which ends up a bit mushy and doesn't provide the same sort of like ground contact and then bounce up. Whereas this still does, despite having that extra stack height. It's still not as smooth through the forefoot as the Alpha Fly. The Alpha Fly I really like through the forefoot, where it just rolls. The AirPods are super smooth and it makes that toe off really, really efficient. This is softer than those and feels possibly a little bit harder through the front to toe off, just because of that energy drainage. But if you start to pick up speeds a little bit in this, which you actually can do, even though it's a bigger shoe, it does like to go that little bit faster. And the faster you go in it, almost the more stable the shoe becomes as well. So landing mid-foot through there rather than landing too much on your heels, that really helps out maintain that stability of the forefoot, and it is more stable than the Nike Alpha Fly through the forefoot in terms of the pronation and compression that you get through the inside there. So this shoe here, yeah, is my go-to at the moment. Really like it, really like the upper. The sole's perfect. For me being a slightly heavier guy, it gives me so much protection through there. I had a chronic history of compartment syndrome and shin splints, and since moving to the carbon racer type shoes, I've had zero issues, which has been a huge, huge difference. And that partly might be down to the fact that you've got that extra cushioning through there, but that cushioning needs stability, and that's what this shoe has.